Hey guys, well I finally figured out my MacBook. I know I haven't updated in a really long time. I was typing some blogs, but I didn't get on to record because I didn't take time to figure out my MacBook, but now I do. So, lots of stuff going on. I am down to 164. This is my smallest in I don't even know how long. I don't remember the last time I've been in the 160s. So it's obviously smaller than my wedding day and engagement day because my ring is huge and I flip it off all the time. And yeah, but I am down to a size 10 pants. I'm really excited to get into single digits. I can't wait to get to 8s. That's my kids playing. But I'm in size 10. I'm in a small and extra small shirt. I'm kind of scared of the whole getting smaller in the shirt size because then I have to go to Mrs. or Juniors, and which is great and everything, but being that I'm a mom, I don't want to dress like I'm a teenager. You know, I've seen those people that are older and try to act more younger, and it just looks horrible. So I want to dress like a mom, but a pretty mom. So yeah, I'm really excited to get this going with the weight and everything. It's going. I haven't stalled out in a while. It's going slowly, but it's going. So I haven't started exercising a whole lot yet. This last month has been nuts. I'll go into that in a minute. But yeah, I've just been trying to get my exercising in by walking. I haven't had any problem with a whole lot of loose skin. I have loose skin on my thighs, which is a bummer. But I'm not wearing anything that's higher. You know, I'm wearing shorts, and that's as high as it goes. So I'm not wearing like Daisy Dukes or a bikini or even a swimming suit at all. I'm wearing swimming suits with the skirts, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm really not worried about that at all. I'm not going to get that fixed with plastic surgery as of now. I might change my mind in the future, but as of now, I'm okay with it because I'm never going to show anybody it. My stomach is actually looking a lot better than I thought it would. It does have skin, but not as bad as I was thinking. I still kind of want a tummy tuck after I have kids, but I don't think I'd be like bad if I didn't get one, because I'm not going to show anybody my belly either, so it doesn't bother me that way either. My arms kind of bother me because I have a little bit of skin. However, I've had a lot of people ask me how I'm keeping my arms toned, so apparently they look like they're toned. Everybody is delusional because they're not at all, and I'm going to let them all think that. So, but yeah, 164, size 10, small shirts. My bra size has gone down, which is awesome. But yeah, everything is just going really well. We went to Disney World a couple weeks ago, and I was able to walk around the park all day long, and I wasn't even tired when we got home. Like, just usually walking around, you know, makes me really tired, and yeah, it's been nice. The food, I can eat pretty much whatever I want. I haven't had a problem with a whole lot. A lot of grease. We went to Chili's a couple months ago, and I haven't tried it again. It was so greasy that I just, bleh. So I didn't do that. But I can pretty much eat whatever I want. I'm also able to get a good chunk down, which has been very nice to me. I did not want to get to the point where I was having 3 bites and then getting full. I wanted to be able to eat a meal. My meals are definitely different than they were. Before, a meal to me was like 4 different things and a big, huge plate. Now a meal is getting down, like yesterday we had tacos, and getting 1 taco down was a meal to me. And I did. I got a whole taco down. Granted, it didn't have a whole lot in it, and I was, you know, but I was able to eat it all, and I was full afterward, and I really, really liked that. And that's kind of where I want to stay with all this, is I want to be able to eat, but not overeat. But I was really excited. I was bummed because when we went down to Florida, they had a really good Mexican restaurant that had really good chili rellenos, and I could eat half of one. And I was so bummed. We went back again because I wanted one again, but of course I only got half one down. But yeah, totally bummed that I can't eat more of that, but probably a good thing. But yeah, I went to Disney World and came back, and I lost 10 pounds just off of being there because of the walking and stuff. So yay! But I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can think of with the surgery. I'm feeling really good. All my labs, I went to do my labs, my 3-month labs, and everything was really, really good. Everything was normal. The only thing that I was slightly under, and she said not even really to worry about it, was my protein. But she said to go ahead and just up it, 10 grams. So that's what I'm doing, trying. And yeah, so we have a lot of exciting stuff going on. We had a lot of stuff go on this last month. We are moving. My husband got a new job in the military, and so he will be doing something else. He told me I can't talk a lot about it, especially since this is going to be on the internet, but he's going to be doing something really cool. But yeah, so we're moving. He's going to Arizona for training. I'm going to Colorado, and that's kind of where we're going to be for the rest of this year. Next year, we have no idea where we're going. But yeah, I'm excited to get to Colorado and see people I haven't seen in a long time. I haven't been there since before Bailey was born, so none of my family's met Bailey except for her grandma and her nana. So I'm excited to introduce her to everybody and to get everybody out there. Some more stuff that's been going on, I know I've mentioned my son a couple times, is they diagnosed him. This for us was awesome because we've been trying to get a diagnosis for about 2 years. We started taking him in at 6 months, knowing that there was something wrong. And they did tests and everything, and now we know, so we can start moving ahead. He got diagnosed with cerebral palsy due to periventricular leukomalacia. A lot of big words, and obviously the doctor had to sit us down for about an hour and a half to explain everything. The PVL, periventricular leukomalacia, is the white matter in the front of his brain was damaged and it stopped growing. This happens in utero, so everything happened when I was pregnant with him around second trimester. So in accordance to that, that's what caused the cerebral palsy. Since he has the PVL and it stopped that portion of his brain from growing, it causes motor problems and speech problems and everything. There's no mental retardation with this. It is just physical stuff, which is great for us because if we have to deal with something, I would rather deal with the physical and know that he can mentally do everything he needs to do. He can't learn the same way everybody else can. He has a hard time. It's not that he doesn't understand, but he can't tell his body to do certain things, so he has to learn different ways. I guess you can consider that a mental handicap in a way, but it doesn't hinder the way he thinks or it's just the way he's trying to tell his body to do things. So his legs are really affected by this. He wears AFOs to walk, and they're really, really working. It's really great. He's walking a lot better. You can definitely tell there's something wrong when he walks because he does walk funny, but he's walking. And kids with cerebral palsy, and that's such an umbrella term. I know so many people are like, he doesn't look like he has cerebral palsy. The more I research it and the more the doctor sits and explains it, because that was the first thought I thought was he doesn't look like he has cerebral palsy. But that is such an umbrella term. That the only thing that cerebral palsy means is paralysis in the brain. It has nothing to do with twitches and all that. There's specific types of cerebral palsy, but all it has to do with is that there's something wrong with the brain that helps with your motor skills. So that is what cerebral palsy is. And but he's doing great with the walking on the AFOs. He doesn't need, the only time that they said he would need a wheelchair is for extreme circumstances, like when we went to Disney World. However, he is small enough that he fits in a stroller, so we have opted not to get the wheelchair until we have to. And I really want him to walk, so I'm really going to push him to walk. And I know he can walk now, short distance. Okay, it's like one of those words where you try to say it 15 times and it's not going to work. He can walk short distances, and he does really good with them. So we're glad he's walking. We're thankful he's walking. He also is having problems with his speech. He cannot get his brain to tell his mouth to do things. So that is one thing that is frustrating because he can't talk. When he does talk, he sounds like a deaf person trying to talk. It's very slow and it's very odd. But he talks, he says mama, and he says dada, and he says please, and he says yes. A lot of people can't tell what he's saying, but since we're around him all the time, kind of like somebody who's just learning to talk, But we can tell what he's saying. So we're doing sign language. I have been studying my butt off to do sign language. This last month, I have been constantly looking up signs, trying to figure stuff out. I really, really want him to talk any way possible. The only problem we're having with this is he's also having motor function difficulties with his hands. Which kind of puts us in an awkward spot. He's able to do some signs, but he's having a hard time with his hands and making them do what he wants them to do. So a lot of his signs are not specific. If you know sign language or have seen it, there's a lot of signs that are the same exact sign, your hand's just in a different position. And that's the problems that we're having, is getting his hand in that certain position. But we're working on it, and we're going to be taking sign language out in Colorado. We have him in swim lessons for therapy. They are putting him back into occupational therapy. He was, I guess, graduated out of it, but now that they have re-diagnosed him, or they have diagnosed him. Before they knew he had low tone, but the low tone leads up to PVL, the PVL leads up to cerebral palsy. I know a lot of people have told us that too, where they're like, well, you told us he was diagnosed with PVL. He is diagnosed with PVL. PVL causes the cerebral palsy. So he has low tone, which is the low muscle tone, which makes his muscles floppy. He has PVL, which is in the brain. His white matter did not grow like it should, and it caused the brain to quit growing in that area, which causes the low tone in the muscles. And then he has cerebral palsy, which the PVL has caused. So the PVL kind of caused everything, and so it's all mixed in. But other than that, he's doing really good. He's he's got his difficulties. It's been hard, I think, for Doug and I, because we're not sad. He's not like he got in a car accident, or he had something happen to him that made him different. This is the way we've known him for 2.5 years, so we think he's perfect. And I think the biggest thing was mourning the loss of what we expected. We expected a 2.5-year-old, a very different 2.5-year-old. So I think that's the only thing. We don't feel sorry for him. We don't feel sorry for ourselves. I think I've just fallen more in love with him. I can't explain it. It's just, you think that your kid's going to have a certain life, and now you know that it's going to be harder on them. However, with all of the 3 kids that we've had, I think he's going to be the one that's going to fight this the hardest. So I'm glad that he's the one that has it instead of the girls, because I just feel like he's got that personality and attitude. It's going to get him way further with it, and I don't think this is going to stop him in anything he wants to do at all. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things where you know that they have to live with it, and you wish you could take it away and do it yourself. But this is something God gave us and something God gave him, and he's perfect, and so I know that he's going to be okay. We get the funny looks when we're out. Not so much like people giving us funny looks. It's more like they feel sorry for him, you can tell. And, so we just kind of deal with that. We've had a lot of people, we went to the grocery store yesterday, and a lady asked us why he was wearing 2 casts on his leg, and I told her, they're not casts, they're braces for his legs, and she's asked what he had, and I said he has cerebral palsy. I was actually thankful that somebody asked instead of just staring and making comments, because we've had that too. And I would much rather people ask. I know that's odd, but I would much rather have people just ask what he has, or ask what's wrong, so that we can just explain it. Because I don't know. It just, to me, is better. So she asked what was wrong. We told her, and she said, well, he doesn't look like he has cerebral palsy. And that was one of the first things where I was like, okay, a lot of people don't know what cerebral palsy is. I didn't. I mean, I thought I knew what it was until he had it, or has it. But before, I definitely was like, he doesn't look like he has cerebral. It's the first thought in my head, too. So I know that that's the first thought in a lot of people's heads. But he's doing really good with it. And, I just explained to the girl that cerebral palsy is such a huge um, umbrella term for this kind of stuff, and that you don't have to be shaking in a wheelchair to have cerebral palsy. And I explained to her that when he walks, you can tell, but he was in a cart. We have had people comment on us parking and handicap parking. Trying not to lose my cool with those people. They come up, and we had an old lady come up and tell us that we had parked in a handicapped spot, like I didn't know. And I explained to her, yeah, we did, because my son has cerebral palsy, and he was in the cart, so he wasn't walking. And she said, all your children look fine. And it was really hard not to turn around and tell her that she was walking better than my son was, so maybe she should. So it's difficult because you don't, I don't know. People just judge quickly and they don't understand it, and that's the most frustrating. Whether they're judging harshly or judging, feeling sorry for him, because I don't want that either. Because he is loving life. He doesn't care. He's, doing his thing and running around and playing and laughing, and he's doing everything he should for this age. So he's just gonna work harder to do it, and it's gonna make him stronger. So, but yeah, we're dealing with it. When we get to Colorado, we got to put him into. He'll have physical therapy for the rest of his life, occupational therapy for the rest of his life, speech therapy for the rest of his life. He'll have to go to doctors for the rest of his life and have MRIs done for the rest of his life. He might have to be in leg braces for the rest of his life. That depends on how far he pushes himself. We're hoping he doesn't have to, but we'll see. But we just thank God that we have him, and we just feel like this is such a huge reason that he pushed us into the military, because the military is covering everything with the braces and stuff, so that's fantastic, that we don't have to pay for everything. But he's got a lot of therapy, and he's got a lot of help, and he'll be in special education in school. He'll have to have a speech therapist and a physical therapist with him at all times at school. They'll really be helping him. So, you never wish anything like this on your kids, and you never wish that you ever have a handicapped child, but when you do, and you do. And I couldn't imagine him any other way anyway, so, and I don't want him any other way. But yeah, I think it's a shocker when you hear it. You just don't expect it. So, I've had some really good support, and my husband and I thought that we would not have to join a support group or anything for this, but the more we get into this and realize how much work this is going to take, the more we realize we may want to join a support group, just to, get other people's support, but also know, when you get told you have a handicapped child, it's kind of like, okay, what do we do now? You don't really know what to do, and it's kind of confusing. So we've had people ask us some odd questions, like, are you guys going to still have more kids? And yes, why would we quit having kids? That's ridiculous. And, I never want him to think that he stopped us from anything, because we don't plan on him stopping his life for this, so why should we stop the way we're living? We want him to grow up knowing that he needs to push on, so we need to be that example. And I don't want him thinking anything less than that, and I don't want him ever growing up thinking that we stopped our lives because of something he had, and that he took anything away from us because he's adding, and he's definitely added hugely to our lives, and he needs to know that through the way we live. So, yes, we will be having more kids, and yes, we can afford them, and we just have so many questions about that too, and we can do it. Doug and I know a lot of people seem to pull apart during this time, and we have come closer, so we're good. We have dealt with it in our own ways, and we've dealt with it together. So right now we're on the same track, we're on the same road, and we're doing great. So I know this was a wait update, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to get off of here because I'm almost at 20 minutes, and I will keep everybody updated. I'm going to be in Colorado soon, and I'm starting a mommy's group in Colorado, so all you girls watching this that have kids, you got to come. and not optional. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and yeah, thanks.